think this is going to be the last video before Christmas for a little while, but I will be back in the new year, so don't worry. So I thought I'd talk today about the signs that a guy is not interested in you. So on my channel, I talk a lot about avoiding people that aren't interested. And I thought I'd talk about some points that I've picked up over my years dating of signs where I can kind of tell when a guy isn't interested. Some of them you probably haven't heard about or thought about before, but I thought I'd drop some new ones in that I haven't seen dating coaches do. So the first one's pretty obvious, but I think it's quite a good sign to tell if a guy is into you. And for me, it's a guy that leaves days in between texting. For me, when people have been really into me in the past, it's been a daily thing. It's been daily communication and daily texting. Now, everyone is different. Not all people like to text daily. A lot of people do lead quite busy lives. I kind of think that even if a guy is super busy and he's got a lot on, maybe he's running a business or something, there's always going to be that 10 minutes at the end of the day before he goes to bed where he can text you and say, oh God, I've had a really busy day, sorry. For me, if a guy doesn't do that, it's a red flag. And for me, if a guy isn't laying out that he's busy or he's had a busy day, you should definitely be wary of that if you want to be with someone long term. I think we all know nowadays that guys have their phone on them 24/7, and a lot of them put them on vibrate, and there isn't really any excuse. If a guy's kind of ignoring your messages for days on end, it's kind of a sign that he's not really into you, or he's possibly playing games. Just remember, the same way that girls will watch my videos, a lot of guys watch internet stuff and tips on internet game, and a lot of videos out there tell guys to play games, to play hot and cold, and to not text back right away. So he could also be playing games, but for me it's a bit of a red flag. And if a guy's doing this, I don't really want to know, because for me, I like to know that a guy is interested in me and he's showing his interest in me. Otherwise I literally just pull back and let him do what he wants with other women, basically. Oh, number 2. So, in the same light as number 1, you need to be wary of the guy that's always busy. And what you also need to be wary of, girls, is guys that are always busy with their friends. Guys say that they're busy with their friends because they know that you can't push back on it. Because they know if you push back on it, you're going to look like a psycho. So they don't say that. But actually, what busy with friends actually means, the majority of the time, is busy with other women. So you need to be wary of the guy that's kind of playing games, saying that he's busy with his friends all the time, because it is code for seeing with other women, sleeping with other women, but he's not outrightly going to say that. He's going to be running game on you, and he's going to be saying that he's busy with friends because he knows that you can't push back on that. You definitely need to be wary of guys that are playing games, that are saying things like, oh yeah, I'm really busy with all my mates. Obviously, he could generally be out with his mates on that occasion, but if you can kind of see a pattern of this cropping up, of him being busy quite a lot of the time, you need to know that if you're a type of person that needs a lot of attention and likes to spend time with your man, then this is not gonna work out for you in the long term. I think girls need to be like picking up on the signs as they're dating throughout the relationship. And if you're picking up signs from a guy that you're not compatible with him, you'll see this in the early stages. And if you're a type of person that likes to spend a lot of time with their man, if this person is always busy, always with his friends, then you're probably not going to be a compatible match with that person. Number 3 is also something that I kind of feel quite strongly leads you into indicating if a man is interested. If a man is not willing to give up his Saturday or Sunday. So I remember reading the rules when I was younger, and the rules are quite rigid, like the book that I'm talking about. And it was saying that a guy has to see you every Saturday. If he's not making plans every Saturday, then he's not into you. I don't think you can be that rigid with a guy, because guys will have other commitments on a Saturday, and it's not realistic to expect in the early stages of dating, a guy to spend every Saturday with you. If you're chatting to someone or dating someone and they don't want to spend the weekends with you, they don't want to spend Saturdays and Sundays with you, for me, it's an absolute red flag. And the simple thing, you kind of have to think about this, but if a guy's not wanting to spend his weekend with you, he's more than likely got someone else that he is spending his weekend with. He's more than likely seeing another woman, or he's got someone else on the radar. In the same way as you give up your time to see a man, if a man is not giving up his time to spend time with you, that should click in your brain that this guy is not that interested in me. He's not willing to give up his Saturday or Sunday to be with me. So that should be a red flag. Similarly, if a guy is not willing to do non-sexual activities with you, that is also a red flag. If you're dating someone that doesn't want to hang out with you, doesn't want to go to the cinema, doesn't want to go out for a meal or go out to a bar and maybe have a few drinks, that should also click in your head that this guy isn't interested. This guy has put you in the booty call category. So if he's only seeing you during night hours, that should click in your head, girls, and you deserve way more than that. So if you're dating someone and he only tries to see you at nighttime hours, please get rid of him. He's not interested in you and he's just using you for sex. This is a bit controversial. It follows on from my last point, and I don't think I've seen any dating coach say this, so this is brand new information. If a guy doesn't want to hang out with you when you're on your period, it is a sign that he's not interested in you. If a guy knows you're on your period and you're dating and you've been dating for a while, if you notice that a guy doesn't want to hang out with you when you're on your period or when you don't want to have sex with him, that should also click in your brain that this guy is not interested in me long term. This guy is just using me for what I can give him sexually. And if a guy doesn't want to see that bad side of you when you're on your period or you're not feeling well, then this isn't going to be a guy for you long term. Girls need to also pick up on this as a sign that he's not interested in you as a person. As I say, he's only interested in the sexual side of things with you. So yeah, I'm going to put this on record. I've not seen a dating coach say this, but if you are on your period and a guy doesn't want to see you, you know that it's only the sex that he's after. I think we're on number 6 now, but this is another indicator. If a guy does not care about your emotional needs, if you've had a bad day and you just want to express it to your partner or someone you're dating that you've had a really bad day, if a guy is not interested in you, he will not care. He'll divert the conversation into something else. He might divert the conversation, try and bring it back to being sexual. You want to date a guy that has a kind personality and that has a nice, good side to him. And if a guy doesn't let you be emotional with him and be vulnerable with him, then he is not the masculine presence that you need in your life. You need someone that's going to be there, a shoulder to cry on when you're having a bad day. If you're not getting your emotional needs met by a guy, then he's not the one for you. A true gentleman will care about your emotional needs. While I'm not saying that every conversation should be a heart-to-heart, my life shit, everything's wrong with my life, because obviously guys are going to be turned off by that. But if you're having a few occasions where you're genuinely having a bad day, if you feel that you can't be that vulnerable woman that's having a bad day, then he's not the one for you. I think it also goes as standard, as I've said in my other videos, that if a guy isn't initiating, wanting to take you out on dates, wanting to progress things, then he just isn't interested. I think these other ones that I've talked about are ones that aren't really talked about by dating coaches, and I think you need to tap into these to kind of spot the players, to spot the fuckboys basically, and to kind of work out the games that men can play on you. So thanks for watching everyone. I hope you have a nice Christmas and I'll see you in the new year.